I'm Jackie Howard, and I'm about to crush Double SCAR Unsupported, and I'm going to be the first woman to do it.
SCAR is an acronym for the Smoky Challenge Adventure Run. It's a popular ultra running route that follows the Appalachian Trail through the Smoky Mountain National Park. It starts right here at Fontana Dam and it goes all the way through the park along the Appalachian Trail to Davenport Gap. The route is about 72.5 miles from going one way, and that's what SCAR is. However, what Jackie's doing is a little bit different. It's actually twice as different. She's going to do what's called Double SCAR, and she will be running from Fontana Dam all the way north through the park. She'll turn around at Davenport Gap and come all the way back. So that's 145 miles. And the really big thing about this is no woman has ever completed this unsupported. And it's not for lack of trying. There have been recent attempts.
These white blazes are where I reclaim my power and strength from a time that I was in a different chapter, and I want to take back my relationship with these white blazes and this trail, the Appalachian Trail, to rewrite a traumatic narrative into something that's all mine. And I just aspire to run free, be free with this trail. It's a symbolic thing for me. 7 years ago, when I thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail, I was married in a different version of myself, and this time I finally feel strong enough to face the demons and shadows that this trail has left me with. And this trail is also, like, I have so much heart for it, so it's complicated, but it also was pretty traumatic, which is why I haven't been back in 6 years or seen a white blaze until now.
Here we are at Fontana Dam doing some scouting.
We are trying to figure out where my start finish is, but I only have one bar of service, so I'm not able to pull up previous maps to verify.
Yeah.
But we're getting a good scout.
What do you think about just
I'm
how...
so excited. It's so majestic and just smoky. It's the Smoky Mountains. You've got all the mist, just like little puffs of clouds everywhere. I mean, this gorgeous dam. I mean, I can't, I only have 1 minute.
Planning your fuel up?
Lettuce to eat with my lemon dill hummus and make some sandwiches. Tell me, how has it been supporting Sprout so far?
It's a rough life, but somebody's got to do it.
That's all you have?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not in this. Yes.
Yeah, this is something.
It's pouring. Actually, it's like letting up now, but it was like pouring a few seconds ago. Like big old droplets, and I'm sure it's just so much worse up there. So,
Yeah, we tried to go for a walk, and that didn't...
Oh yeah, we made it like 20 feet. I got a picture with the blaze, white blaze. But yeah, no. Well, it's raining a lot. A lot. Lots of rain.
Gully washer of a rain to get the car for you so you didn't get too wet. I thought, this is where I should have drawn the line. Of all things I do for you, this is where I should have drawn the line. It was straight uphill the whole way too.
And
here we are.
And was it a nice run?
No, it was horrible. Look at it. It's straight uphill and it was pouring rain. It's let up a lot now.
Yeah, it got a lot worse when you went out for the run.
Yeah, I know. All right, we're getting close. Jackie's double SCAR attempt is going to start in the morning, and we're doing some last minute preparations, and it was a very wise decision to hold off a day because it has been, right now the rain's not too bad, but it's been a really steady rain all day, and it's expected to continue.
This route didn't feel like it was like gelling in my head very well. So I drew out my route, and like Nobo is kind of up here and the Sobo Beta is like down here, and so it has like, you know, the mileage between the water stops as well as where I think the sun will be rising and setting. So like just trying to visualize like, okay, this stretch is going to be in the dark on the way out. Where will the sun rise on the way back? Like possibly going down into Davenport Gap or possibly coming back out depending on my timing. And just visualizing like this big climb on the way back southbound and just kind of like walking myself through it.
We are getting started on the final run of show list, and dinner is right now. And you know, you can take the hikers out of the woods, but you can't take the hiker trash out of us. We're at Fontana Lodge. We've got a Coleman camp stove. We're cooking food. I mean, I'm eating beans and rice in a bag just like on trail. Becky has like good food because she has to fuel for tomorrow. What are you eating?
Angel hair with some salt and ramen packet flavoring and fresh tomatoes.
And you got a bunch of olive oil in there.
And olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some just good old pre-race, pre-event carbs.
The final last minute preparations. What are you doing?
I'm trying to make sure my watch doesn't auto pause. Learning my watch settings too. So I'm working.
Okay, it's the big time. It is 2:59 a.m. We got up at 2:30 a.m.
2:35.
No, it was before the alarm, wasn't it?
No.
We got up early, and we didn't go to bed till later than anticipated, and then I don't know what happened. At midnight, she got up to go to the bathroom, and then her alarm started going off. She comes out of the bathroom, she's like, oh, it's time to go. I'm like, it's only midnight. It was an alarm for something she set for trail, so that was a little bit of a confusion in the middle of the night, but we're semi-rested and getting ready.
B&J.
That thing is going to be so smashed by the time.
It's right where it belongs.
You're going to burn out. You're going to burn out early today.
Just practicing to make sure it all feels okay. And it does. Woohoo!
Okay, she's doing the final bit of chowing down, trying to push some calories in her body before we get going. It's 3:57 a.m. She's about to start the tracking on the Garmin. We're here. There's a little bit of fog and mist this morning. We're right here on the dam. Okay, 3:58.
Here we go, Double SCAR.
All right, we're almost there. 3:59, and we're gonna get going exactly 4 a.m. And we're starting right here at the edge of the dam.
Oh, it's foggy.
It is.
Okay.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah.
You got tracking on the Garmin?
Yeah.
And your watch ready to start.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's 3:59. We're about to go. Can you count down?
Yep. Well, I don't have seconds, but yeah.
Just maybe make it up.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, go. 4 o'clock. See you on the other side.
Thanks, bye.
All right, now I'm here on the dam by myself, and just like that, she is off. And now I don't know what to do with myself. The unsupported support is now I'm sitting for a couple days waiting and making sure all is good from here, but I got nothing else to do. I'll update you as I get some updates, and I'll be tracking and letting y'all know.
Hey guys, I'm about 5 miles in and it is so windy, like really loud. Everything feels good so far. About 7 miles into my day and I'm trying not to shine my headlamp into the camera, but the songbirds are going crazy and I love it. Hey, just running on the AT. I'm about 14 and a half miles in. I've passed 2 AT shelters and I just entered this little rhododendron cove. Just climbing. It got a little colder, windier. The trail's been okay. There's definitely mud. My feet are soaking wet due to the grass that's like overhanging the trail, and not so much because the trail is a stream, but just that wet grass just has totally soaked my, oh my gosh, the sun is out. Barely. It's just making a little twinkle in the trees. Ah! Hello. I'm about 28 miles into the day. The sun is out, the weather is perfect, feet feel good, lungs are feeling the elevation. My knees are hurting running downhill. Not thrilled about how that feels. And then I feel like I'm getting tendonitis in my left elbow from wearing this gigantic watch, which takes up my entire wrist. So yeah, 13 hours and 24 minutes into my day. I'm climbing up Mount Collins. I'm also sucking on an electrolyte. It's really strong. And it's a pretty steep climb. I had some pretty intense afternoon fatigue. I wanted to take a nap when I got to Double Spring Gap Shelter. But I just kind of laid there, put my legs up the wall, ate some chips, filtered some water. Did not find the privy. I need some water. I was hoping that little 20-minute break at the shelter would give me a second wind, but the altitude I think is making me really tired. I also had a little bit of coffee this morning to try to help with a morning bowel movement, and last time I did that for my 50-mile race, I crashed in the afternoon as well, so may have been some of that too. So the climb up to Kuohi, used to be known as Klingman's Dome, was really slow, but this climb I feel a little stronger, like a second wind kicked in when I started going downhill. I kind of started getting into a really faded, tired way of thinking. But I put on some Normal Gossip podcast and have been just trudging along. Still eating and drinking. Chap says this climb is the hardest climb of the whole thing, but he's never done it southbound, so TBD. But it is pretty steep, but not technical. There were some sections earlier that were steep and more technical, and I should knock on wood, because maybe it'll become more technical towards the top.
Okay, I'm trying to hide behind this restroom to block the wind from the camera. I'm at the Clingman's Dome parking lot right now. Jackie has already come through here. She was through here. I made sure I didn't come here until after I verified on the map she was past here. So she's doing really well. She's probably about 35 miles in so far. It's been just over 13 hours. So she's doing really good considering that first section was about 4,000 feet. Some views here, but it is cold and windy here. It's about 25 degrees colder than it was in Cherokee. It was only, I think it's 49 degrees and windy here.
I'm remembering some parts of the trail, just like a part where I'm like, oh, I remember this exact spot. So that's kind of cool. I'm just so tired and just looking forward to being at the shelter. I was imagining a little nap. Anyway, it looked like really dark clouds were rolling in, and it's been consistently very windy all day. So, and then the clouds have kind of come back, so it makes it colder up here at this higher elevation, and it's getting a little later. But my second wind always tends to come after 4 somehow. Oh, my straw came loose. I have to go tuck it away. I have to say this climb is pretty inconsequential, or maybe it's just my state, but I feel I'm almost over with it. It just feels like a regular AT climb. Just some stats. I'm about 37 miles into my day. My average speed is 2.7 miles per hour. So still happy with that, considering it's been mostly uphill and climbing and high elevation, and the heaviest my pack will be for the entire thing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Newfound Gap. I'm gonna drop some trash in a trash can. It just makes me feel happy that I'm able to do that and lighten the mess and the load a little bit.
I'm in the Clingman's Dome parking lot and it's cold. It's in the upper 40s and windy, and it's only 5:35. So Jackie came through up by on the trail, which is not by the parking lot. It's a little higher from where I'm at right now. A little bit ago, so I know she's probably pretty chilly. Her latest tracker shows she's between here and Newfound Gap, and she's moving at a pretty good clip, it looks like. So hopefully her moving fast is keeping her warm.
So early on, I did a funnel, my first funnel of soup mix, while walking. Interesting choice. It was like holding the water bottle, unscrewing it, putting the funnel, and then holding the soup mix. It was just kind of complicated to try to do while walking. I did it successfully, and then as I was trying to put the 2 water bottles away, I dropped the funnel. Luckily, and I had kept walking this whole time. Luckily, I didn't make it too far, and I was able to turn around and easily find it in the middle of the trail. Plug it away. It's getting colder. I'm really appreciative for the wind because I think it's keeping the mosquitoes completely away. My arms hurt from the poles, I think, but also like the way my pack is weighted. I don't know if something is like pressing on, I don't know, a nerve or something, because it's kind of like a little bit of weird. Like I think when my pack gets a little lighter, I plan to adjust some things and then put more stuff in my pockets. Also, my back was really hurting, and like my low back sacrum area, which like never happens. And I was like, man, I should have just worn my backpack instead of this running vest. If I'm gonna load it up with 15 pounds, you know, maybe this isn't meant to carry so much weight. But I decided to turn my fanny pack around and just distribute the weight differently, because I was like thinking like how it's carried on when I backpack, and it like instantly made such a difference. So I've got fanny pack on the back, and I also moved my watch to the inside of the wrist, which I knew I was going to do. I just kind of want to change it around. I might change it to my right wrist later. But yeah, those are my trail updates.
All right, just checking in to give you all a little update. It is right at a few minutes before 10 p.m. and she is just past Charlie's Bunyan is what it looks like on her tracker. So that puts her probably about 46, maybe 47 miles in, and right at 18 hours going. So I hope she's taking a little bit of a break, but my guess is she hasn't. All right, so it is, I don't know, 11 something. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. So last I checked, which was about 30 seconds ago, Sprout is still doing very well. So I'm gonna set an alarm and check in on her in a couple hours.
It's like almost midnight. I'm moving so slowly. I'm just so tired. Don't have any energy. My muscles hurt. Otherwise, everything seems to be going okay. I don't think I got enough sleep the night before this. You know, I got like 4.5 to 5 hours, and yeah, I'm really feeling it. It's catching up to me. Still no rain, but the trail is a lot wetter after ice water shelter. I think it rained over here. The trees are blowing water sometimes. Lungs feel tired. Like breathing is just labored. It's just hard. I feel like I'm swimming in molasses. I don't know if you can see, but I'm just like completely trapped in this avalanche, and I like post hold. I'm kind of like lost in it.
All right, it's about 5:50 a.m. and it's been a rough 45 minutes or so for Jackie. I have a pretty good idea where she is from the GPS pings. We've been on the phone back and forth when her service allows. She called me at 5:08 and said that she was off trail to get around a bunch of blowdowns. And she's not far off trail, but there's so many blowdowns and so much mangled trees, and it's dark. And she's struggling and she's scared, and I've been talking with her, and I think she'll get through it, but I think she maybe doesn't think that right now. But she's also got sleep deprivation, and she's got a lot of miles in the last 24 hours. She's been at it 26 hours now, so I don't know. I'll be back when I know some more. She was able to call me back. She's back on trail. And she said somehow she's around all the mess and moving. So it's, I think she'll be able to get through it and keep going. We'll see. It's starting to be pretty daylight. Well, I can see enough now. So that's a big morale boost too, I hope.
It's like, I think 6 something in the morning, and the sun is just coming up. And I just spent like the last hour and a half or hour 45 completely just stuck and buried in an avalanche, and I was lost and I couldn't get out, and I was just trapped. And it was really scary, and I kept post-holing because I'm on a ridge, so it was just like a cliff with like overhanging trees and branches and thick rhododendron, and I'm really scared and just shaken up. And that was a long time of falling behind on my nutrition and just everything. I don't want to keep doing this. It hurts, but that's not why I want to stop. It was just, that was so scary, and it's not supposed to be so life-threatening. I don't know how I made it back to trail, but I just kept like crawling on all fours, and I'm sure I lost stuff on my pack, but my headlamp died while I was in there. And I like couldn't get footing. I was like with both hands and both feet trying to balance, and everything was breaking underneath my feet. And I called Chap, and he talked to me while I was trying to get out, but service kept cutting out. I don't even know how I got there. I was just like so lost. Well, after that avalanche crisis, I'm just walking. I'm so happy to see the sun. I like turned a switch back, and it was just a glowing ball of red over the mountains. I think because there's so much fog that it looks just like so bright and beautiful. Trying to recalibrate, trying to charge things. I'm concerned about not having enough battery pack because I had to charge my Garmin InReach. I didn't charge it all the way. I'm not going to charge my phone all the way. I'm going to prioritize the headlamps. But I do need the phone and the InReach to also have some charge. But probably fewer videos in the near future because I'm trying to conserve battery. I downed some bars. Got some water in me. I'm definitely behind. I'm just so tired. But honestly, like the adrenaline of that kind of made me forget about the tired feeling. So this is a beautiful trail. I love this part. You can't really see the view beyond the trees, but it's so gorgeous. So green. The morning birds make me feel happy.
It is a little after 8 a.m. I'm still here in my spot under the bridge because I have good cell signal here. Everything is looking much better than it was, but Jackie's a little bit behind from where in her mind she wants to be, and the whole ordeal I think was pretty traumatic and hit her confidence a little bit. But I talked to her again just a little bit ago. She was laughing on the phone this time, and laughing's better than crying in this situation for sure. So she will, I think she's about 6 miles from Davenport Gap. Just because of how the GPS pings are, she said she was going to send me a GPS message when she turned around. The plan is for her to turn around and keep going. So right now we've talked about just not thinking about the whole thing, not thinking about Double SCAR, and just trying to think about getting from here to Newfound Gap. That'll get her halfway back and then kind of reassess what's going on. She said she's been hydrating really well, and she's very hydrated. The nutrition, she got a little bit behind because that hour and a half or more where she was, I think she was actually crawling through really, really thick rhododendrons and stuff on very loose ground. So I think she said she got cut up a little bit, but no real injuries. says she hasn't really been moving very well the whole time with climbing or running downs, but I don't know, most of yesterday I think her pace was a lot better than she may feel like it is right now. The sleep deprivation is definitely a thing. I think she had less than 5 hours sleep the night before she started, and she's been going for 28 hours now. So I'm gonna stay here up at Davenport Gap. Once she gets going back and is up the first big climb from Davenport Gap, I'm gonna start making my way back towards the middle of the park. Okay, so she made it to Davenport Gap at 10 a.m., which is right at 30 hours. She's having some issues. She's struggling a little bit, and we're having some concerns with battery situations on keeping headlamps and her Garmin and her phone charged. So we got to work through that and figure that out. Unfortunately, because it's unsupported, I can't just go give her a new battery bank, or I can't, make contact with her other than on the phone. So, yeah, don't know how that's going to play out yet, but the battery's definitely an issue we may have to work through. Okay, I'm sitting here on the edge of Gatlinburg. A couple things have happened. So the tracking app that Garmin uses didn't work for a couple hours. So I was guesstimating where she was, and I went ahead and started coming back towards Gatlinburg. The app is back up, and now she's contacted me as well. She didn't get as far as I was estimating. She's telling me she's having a little bit of problems breathing and having some lung problems, which is something that she's dealt with in the past. And she has asthma. So she's going to try to take another nap at Cosby Knob Shelter. Right now, she should be there right now, actually. And then she's going to get back with me, and we're going to kind of evaluate how things feel after another 20-minute nap. And then as of now, the plan is still to keep going south, with Newfound Gap being the next potential spot if she needs assistance of any kind. So I don't know. I know she's struggling out there, and I can't imagine what she's going through because I've never done anything remotely this extreme, I guess. I guess that's the right word. I know she's having a really hard time. There's no way that I could even do this, I don't think. So I admire the heck out of her just for being out there and trying something like this. My lack of sleep is not helping my math brain right now. She's done slightly over 80 miles, I think, so far. So I don't know. I just know that I don't like knowing that she's out there having such a hard time. But she's very strong, and if anybody can do it, she can.
Returning to the scene. I guess that's where the trail went. Yeah, somehow I managed to get way on the other side of that and be completely buried in stuff going way down that slope, which is a pretty steep slope off this ridge, but on the way back I will just come up this way. But yeah, I must have gone down there. Let's see. Yeah, I walked up this way, went here, and I guess thought I needed to go around that because I really couldn't see with the headlamp. So I just kept going straight. And then that was a total disaster and I got very lost. Whew. It has been a day. It's coming to a close here. Well, not exactly. It just feels really like it's getting dark. But I think it's just rain clouds. I'm at about mile 88. About to stop at a spring near, well, I don't know how near I am to Tri Corner Knob Shelter. I think maybe like 2.5 miles still from there. And and like 1 mile from the spring. And I've picked up the pace a bit since my second nap. I took a nap around 3 and then left around 3:30. The nap was only 6 minutes long, but it did something. And just laying down, closing my eyes. Here's a beautiful trail with all the moss. Oh, I passed that avalanche section again, and ever since then I've had like, I don't know, a 5th wind, 3rd wind, 4th wind. I don't know how many winds I've had, but I got another wind, and I can't really use it because my lungs are literally on fire, burning. I'm coughing up chunks of phlegm, like chunky chunks. It's not good. It started as a dry cough a few hours before that, and now it's both a dry and productive cough, if that makes any sense. And my lungs just burn and the coughing feels painful. So I'm trying to just calm my pace down a little bit, even though this section I would like to be running. But I think just even taking a little break at the spring will help just calm the lungs down, and then I might put some more layers on and put some warmth around my neck. Yeah. I took more inhaler than, like, I have an alarm set for everything, for all the inhalers and the sport legs and what else? I don't know. B12. I just have alarms for so many things. It's actually really nice. I like getting the little different dings on my alarms. It like kind of makes me feel like something is keeping me company. Kind of strange, huh? But I don't know. It's just like nice, or like it feels like me from the outside world is here or something. I don't feel too fatigued right now. I tend to get that like after sunset. I know the sun hasn't set, but like just after 4:00 p.m. it's cool. The temperature has cooled down a lot too. I tend to kind of feel rejuvenated until maybe about sunset. The nights are hard. Night is hard because you can't take any breaks because it's too cold and wet. But I'm gearing myself up for another night and only one more night. I do not want to be out here for a 3rd night. So I realize I'm going way slower than I would have liked or than I had planned. And I kind of just chuckled to myself earlier when I had the thought of like, I can finish. It's just not the way I wanted it to go. And I'm like, surrender. You don't have to be such a control freak about it. Like, just roll with what's the trail, what the trail is giving me, and because I just kept being like, it's not my day. Like, my body's not feeling right. Like, now my lungs are acting up, all sorts of stuff. I'm really backlit. But yeah, so anyway, it's just kind of interesting that like, I think I can still take back this experience and just let go of any kind of plans and expectations of how I thought it would go. And yeah, see how it is going. And so I think that's been a shift in my mentality, which I had for a long time. So that's good. A few more trail thoughts. I know I look crazy, but this helps warm up the air I'm breathing and like even add a little bit of humidity to it. It's just wild, I'm just like reflecting on how good it was for me to take those naps and just recollect myself. Whenever you're trying to make a panic decision or decision out of fear, you know, slow down and take a pause. It's given me the courage to say, okay, I can go a little further. But my mind, oh my gosh, through the night I was collecting reasons to quit. And I had a lot of really good justifiable reasons. I mean, the blog post was written and I was like, I don't have an ego about this, you know. This looks so crazy. You know, I'm out here, to be the first woman to do it, but, you know, there's other personal reasons that I'm back on the AT. I was like, I think me and the AT were good. You know, I think I've learned and gotten everything that I need to get from this. So I was like telling Chap on the phone, come save me. And the avalanche happened. And like, well, it didn't happen. When I got buried, when I buried myself in the avalanche and then just buried myself further and further and further. But yeah. And then I was like, I'm done doing ultras. This is my last ultra. Why can't I just be a section hiker? I see all these people out here, like, you know, hanging out at the shelters at 10 a.m., just like eating breakfast, like living a nice life, hiking 12 miles a day. Still getting to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful forest. But yeah, I was like just pining for that life a little bit. I mean, I had a list of things in my head that I was going to sell. I was like, okay, you can sell all your running vests. You can sell like your lightweight umbrella, like just all the things that I could sell so that I never had to be in this situation again that I chose to put myself in. I think I'm arriving at my spring. It has some like springs before it, or like seepage from this mountaintop. That is so beautiful. But yeah, so anyway, all I was gonna say is it's interesting how the long list of ailments and my long list of reasons to quit is like silenced now. Just giving something time can help me move through like massive quit mentality to, yeah, we're just gonna do this. Didn't happen the way I wanted, and that's okay. Okay, hold on. Yeah. I think I had another trail thought, but I forgot it. Filtering some water to cold soak some ramen. Anyway, I'm trying to do like all this stuff before it gets dark and cold. But my other trail thought was going in reverse. I feel like I have such an advantage now. I like know what to look for. I know what's coming up. Like I knew what spring I wanted to stop at, and like I just feel like the way back feels easier because I've seen it all. And even though my body somehow feels good. It felt like completely 100% broken like 20 miles ago. I don't know. Things can change. Good morning. It's day 3. Well, it was raining like 5 seconds ago, but I'm on Mount Collins and I've rigged up my umbrella, so I thought I'd capture it. The sun is supposed to be out, but it's still very dark because I am in a cloud. I think I would be perfectly happy if I never ate another gram of carbs, sugar, or salt for like the rest of the year. Like, my tongue literally has sores on it from electrolytes. I'm so ready to never eat a Bobo's bar again, or I still like the soup mix. Soup drink is still rocking it, but oh, these quesadillas are hard to get down at this point. PB&J too, big bars, oh, anything sweet. I attempted a caffeinated Morton, but I just like tried it. I think I hate the taste of caffeine. Yeah, because the Morton doesn't really have flavor. So I'm having trouble getting food in, but I'm still forcing it. I really don't want to finish in the dark tonight. I'm really far behind, quote unquote, schedule. And I'd like to finish this thing, but not in the dark. You know, just no more dark. But I did charge my headlamp again, just in case. So I've got a fully charged headlamp. No, not fully charged. I've got 2 headlamps that have about half charge each, which is fine. Because I'm on day 3, y'all. I can't be out here another night. Whew. So if I use a headlamp, it's just for like a little bit. Yeah. I'm just happy I get to use my umbrella, and it's not like pouring rain. It's just occasional, like, little rain spurts. So that's fun. So coming into Newfound Gap, I ran out of water. I took a dirt nap on the floor of the bathroom. Oh, but honestly, like, I've been sleeping on the trail, but I feel like dirt on the outside is cleaner than dirt on the inside. I don't know why, but I had to be in there because it's too cold outside to nap. I did do one on trail maybe like 6 miles before Newfound Gap, and I was able to do 5 minutes. I think I had 2 dreams, and then I got too cold. So running out of water sucked, and I could just feel it zap the life out of me. Also, I am in uncharted territory at 112 or 113 miles, somewhere in there, which is crazy. PDR, longest personal distance record. So, I mean, I still have like 30 something miles left. Also, I was listening to David Goggins' book, and they talk about the Utah 200, which is a 200-mile race in Moab. Actually, it's called the Moab 200. Y'all have to forgive my brain. I'm on like massive sleep deprivation, insanity over here. It's amazing I can even complete sentences. Hopefully this is, you can like understand me. I called Chap, he was like, "You're slurring your speech, you're too tired, I can't understand you." I was like, okay. But anyway, the Moab 200, which is actually Moab 240. It's 240 miles in Moab. And, oh, I'm still doing this gnarly climb. And it has 30,000 feet of elevation gain. And that made me feel a little better about being out here, because while mine is like 147 miles, it's 36,200 feet of elevation gain. So it's like significantly more than the Moab 240. I don't know why that like shocked me, but there's a lot of elevation gain and descent out here. Just slipped. Whew. Tripped again. I can walk. There's a nice little AT switchback. Y'all, nothing prepares you for the AT except for the AT. Like, what world was I thinking that 400 miles of backpacking with a 30-pound pack on the AZT in Arizona would prep me for this shit? Oops, this stuff. I mean, no. No. So, my mind has played a few tricks on me out here. One is at night, I'm having these really cool hallucinations of these like beautiful faces in the moss on the rocks. But also I keep seeing signs for like trail junctions that are not there. So that's interesting. No, I think I made it close to the top. Close. Also, it's pretty fabulous that I don't use caffeine in regular life because it has a very profound effect and it's helping me move today, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this whole run, like, I'm pretty proud of myself. Well, I haven't finished, so I can't celebrate yet, but if I do, I'm gonna be proud of pushing through all the hurt that I have been pushing through, because the desire to quit was very strong. A lot, including like a few hours ago, and possibly in the future. Okay, straight. And yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, what I was saying earlier, this attempt / effort is not how I think it could be, how I would have liked it to go. You know, it's not, that's how ultras don't go as planned, you know, ever. But like, I haven't felt like myself most of the run. I would say maybe I've gotten like 5 miles a day where I'm like, oh, I feel like me. So yeah, it's been really hard in that sense. So I think pushing to finish makes me feel all the more proud, even though the time is not respectable. I feel like I worked really hard for this out here. Primarily, my issues have been sleep, like just massive fatigue. Yeah, just can't seem to fight that. And I didn't want to start caffeine too early. I did a little bit, but like not very much and not consistently. But after my like 4 a.m. slog fest or like 3:30 to 5:30 a.m. slog fest leaving Newfound Gap. I was like, no. So I took some caffeine and I'm trying to move a little faster because I don't want to finish in the dark, as I've said earlier. Rocks are really slippery, so are roots. My like number one motivator right now is like, the sooner I'm done, the sooner I don't have to eat another Ziploc baggie of flavorless instant potatoes. Like, I can't, you know? So it's mostly just like, I don't want to keep eating. So I want to hurry up and be done. And then of course there's a little bit of like ego wanting to get it done in like daylight. I don't know why that's ego driven, but it just feels like it is. Like, feels like, okay, it's like somewhat respectable. But yeah, I would say food is my primary motivator, and sleep, of course, too, because I also know like when it gets dark, I'll start to get sleepy again. I've taken some dirt naps, y'all. I've taken the dirt naps. I'd rather not do any more dirt naps, and I'd like to have a shower and a bed nap that lasts for like 2 days.
Okay, it is about 7:30. I'm in the Clingman's Dome parking lot. You can see it's very foggy up here. So Sprout got through the night. She's still moving. I just saw on her tracker she's now just south of the Clingman's Dome parking lot. So that means the only other option for coming off trail is at the end. So this is, we had some, yesterday she had some rough times. I know she's exhausted. The last message I got from her was she was struggling with getting any food down. But this is the final stretch. So I'm gonna wait up here a little longer till she gets a little further out of here. And then I'll start making my way down to towards the finish. So right now we are 51 and a half hours in, and she's somewhere in the neighborhood of a little over 115 miles done so far.
Lessons learned. I'm only at mile 117, but I still have a ways to go to learn some new lessons. But oh no, I think I forgot them. Well, one of them was that I wanted to quit every time there was a bailout point, but then when I would like be beyond it, except for the first time I came into Newfound Gap, that was too early. It was like mile 41. But all the rest of the times, Davenport, mile 74, Newfound Gap, mile 105, Kuohi, and trying to send Chap a message, I can't get food down, seeing if he would take pity on me and offer to bail me out up there. But I problem solved and persevered. Oh my gosh, sleep bank the week before, it has to happen. Like, especially the night before and 2 nights before. Those 2 nights I got 6 hours and 4.5 hours respectively. I had other ones, but now I don't remember them. I'm too tired. Having support, even if you're doing unsupported stuff, is really important. Running makes your stomach sloshy. Lesson learned that nausea and sloshy stomach doesn't kill you, so I can just push through that and just, I mean, it is trying to tell you something, so I try to listen to it, but not too loudly. Here's my lovely bag of potatoes that I will be eating. This one is for you, Chap. I just want to say a huge thank you for being nearby, for being incredibly supportive, but also for not letting me quit. for pushing back, reminding me what my goals were, helping me see positive things, and like specifically helping me like transition out of the avalanche thing. Like not like during it, but like after, once I was done, I was like, okay, you're done. You made it through it. And we just like didn't marinate on it, and it didn't get in my head. And I think like you helped me a lot to like shift my mood quickly regarding that like gigantic setback, scare, you know. Yeah, and for not being an easy bailout. So I appreciate having you on Crew Sprout. Thank you. I'm like pretty tired of these like steep climbs. I'm kind of over it. Mile 119, and like I'm just tired. This is hard. It's hard. Yeah. Maybe some of us need a 107-mile warm-up. Because like ever since I left that spring at the base of Mount Collins, kind of, I've been running in like a new way. Like I think I just ran through that meadow back there faster than I've ever run on trail in my whole life. My feet hurt, but like the knee pain I had for like 36 hours, like not really there. I mean, having a really light pack helps a lot. It feels good to be moving out here. I'm like actually moving. I've got like 28 miles left, I think.
It is 9:30 a.m. and she is in high spirits and she's moving well. She's just sent me several messages back and forth and things are looking good. She's only got about a marathon left. So she's got about 26 and a half, 27 miles, I think, left. She's killing it. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the trail, the next road that she'll come to is the finish line. The coming backwards would be all climbing. So barring any kind of injury, things are looking good. I am so freaking proud of her. Anyway, I got to get moving down to the finish line so we can start figuring out finish logistics.
Oh, so tired. I'm fading. It's tough because like just had those like beautiful downhills full of real running, but I really just needed to keep things steady. But I just let it go. I let her free. I felt like I had a body experience. Like I didn't want her to run like that, but the body just like ran. I didn't catch a toe on a rock or fall. I mean, there was just no thought. It was just do. Now I'm climbing another Smoky Mountain incline. It's kind of steep. I'm out of breath. Stomach is feeling it. I'm eating potatoes, drinking drink. But man, it's hard. I think I've got like 22 miles left. So close. But can't celebrate early. I think I've got like 3 or 4 more like kind of big climbs and mixed with some downhills. But I'm ready. Yeah. Oh. I'm ready. Oh, I forgot I was recording. Whew. I was just remembering on the AZT when I was 23 miles from the finish. I started getting all excited. I think Chap and I celebrated too early with thinking we were almost done. And the final push was just more brutal. Anyway, this morning I had always be wary in ultras when you feel good. Because you'll come crashing down just as hard. So I just laid down and took a 5-minute dirt nap. Oh, but man, I'm exhausted. I'm barely walking in a straight line. In fact, at one point, it was kind of like, I don't know, cliffy kind of ish. And I just like stepped my left foot off trail on accident and it just like went all the way down. I was like, oh, Chap, can you edit that? I don't want to swear on here. My mouth is doing really weird things. Like my tongue and insides of cheeks are like sore from like salt, I think. And then when I have anything sweet, like a Bobo's or a Cliff Chew on the right side, I have like major tooth sensitivity. Like it hurts. So I have to chew it on my left side. Anything sweet. My body is starting to protest. And I don't know how to cheat it anymore. And I don't know. I'm trying to call on strength that I don't know about inside to just keep taking one more step. I just want to be done right here. A lot of climbing still. The climbing is hard. My lungs are so tired. They burn. Now I'm just talking into the camera for fun / to keep me awake. I see some people up here, so that might be awkward. I'm barely picking up my feet. Oh my god. It hurts. It really hurts. My stomach hurts. It hurts to eat. I wanted to say something, but I forgot. I forgot what I wanted to say into the camera. Oh, every time I look at the Far Out app to try to find my location, I can't detect GPS very well in the Smokies, I guess. And it always puts my location off route. And it freaks me out sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I take the wrong trail? Am I off trail? And then it takes a while to find me. I just took a 12-minute nap-ish. My dirt nap spot. I don't know, I've had some caffeine today, so I just feel like my heart is racing. But it was rest, I guess. I feel like my body is kind of shutting down. I think I might have thrush, which is a yeast infection in the mouth from my inhalers. I have these tiny little toothbrushes, but I don't know that they're cutting it. And so it's very bothersome, and I can't really have like yeast lives off of carbs and sugar, which is basically all I'm eating. So everything aggravates my mouth. But also I need to eat. I'm like 20 miles away and it feels so far. I finally had like poop, but I'm gonna call it diarrhea. I feel like I'm gonna throw up all the time. And my breathing is shallow. And I feel jittery. And I'm like I'm seeing a lot of things. Like every like little stick reminds me, like I feel like it's a caterpillar or a snake. I'm seeing a lot of that. I don't know if I could make it. I need to go 0.3 to a spring, but it's a climb and then a downhill. I couldn't even make it 0.3 to have my nap at the spring. Oh, it's gonna be a late night. I really wanted to finish in the daytime. Okay, I gotta turn this off.
I'm sitting here at Fontana, up closest to the Hilton, and I'm up here because this is the only place where there's cell service. So I'm here for a while to keep tracking her. It is a couple minutes after 6 p.m. and I have not done any updates since this morning. There have been challenges today and solutions today, and she has risen to every challenge and still rolling on. Right now, she is about 8.5 miles out from the finish. So barring some kind of serious injury or something crazy, she's doing this thing. She almost has this thing done. So that means she's like 137-ish miles in right now. It's crazy to even think about that. Absolutely crazy. One of my buddies, Hops, is on his way here. He's going to help me out with all the finish line stuff. And I'm going to try to get as much video and photos as I can of that. And I'm nervous. I'm real nervous. I got so many things I'm supposed to do in these lists of things that have to happen, like her recovery drinks and food choices and all the different things right away. So I think I've got it down in my head, but I've got a list prepared just in case. And I'm happy Hops is coming to help me. So yeah, that's it.
Getting close. I don't really have energy for talking or keeping my eyes open, but I'm leaving everything out here. Everything. I'm taking all my power from all this with me, and I hope somebody comes out here and crushes this record. Oh my god, it hurts everything, but I'm gonna make it. I'm close.
Okay, so we're here. We think she's only about a mile out. This is Hops, AT class of 97.
97.
All right. So we have this strung up across the road, and we're gonna put it up when we see her coming. That way the cars don't get it. Got a vegan bottle of champagne over there. Look at this beautiful view. And I think it's only gonna be within 10 or 15 minutes she'll be coming. Here she is, folks. She's still moving. She's making history.
Got water. We got tailwinds.
No, I can't ever have tailwind ever again. I can't have anything ever again.
You told me I have to. Let's take this vest off while you're sitting.
Yeah. No, I like the vest.
Nope, we're taking it off.
It's my friend.
You're taking the vest off.
But I like it. Kept me
Okay.
safe in the woods.
It did.
My vest. You can take it for the rest of time. I saw Madeline and Nick on the road and they had a white dog, but then they weren't there. And I was waving and I was like, hey guys. And then like, it was just rocks. And I wanted to stop at 3.5 up there because like, I think that's the longest 3.5 miles I've ever run in my
You did it.
entire life.
You did. Oh, I forgot one thing. What time is it?
I don't even care.
8:30. She got it at 8:35.
147.78 is what time it is.
It was like 8:35.
Hi, cameras.
Hey, how's it going?
That's an interesting question. I don't know how to answer it. I think good because I am all in one
You
piece.
finished.
You did it.
I don't
Nice
see
work.
any blood either.
Well, my nose was bloody. I had a bloody nose like a
Okay.
couple of times. But no, I don't think I don't have any, I didn't fall. Except for like half a mile away from here, like right by the trailhead.
Did you?
But I didn't fall all the way down. I like caught myself on the side. I was like, I can't believe I did that entire thing. You didn't want to take my fanny pack too? Because
Well,
like I could be done with this guy.
That wasn't on my list.
Well, take it. This has like
Making our way over to this.
5 packs.
Let's make our way over to this
We're
chair
gonna
and start
throw
getting
you
shoes
in the
off.
water now
We're
and
not
say
throwing
bye
it.
forever.
Let's go get you in this chair and take these shoes off.
Okay, there's a chair, but I like the road. Oh, hey, you want some leftover Morton
Yeah.
caffeinated gel?
Do you?
I hate them, and I got 2 down.
You're still
I
walking.
like
That's good.
forced myself. Like, can you bring all those?
Yeah, I'll get it in a second. Here, let's do this.
Because I'm gonna. I forgot you have to loosen it for me. No! I'm so filthy
Me
with
too.
soup mix and champagne and what else?
I don't know.
Like other stuff. Tailwind. I ran out of salt tabs, I think.
Let's go sit down. You drink it?
I don't think I need to ingest anything for like a month.
You gotta do some tailwind.
I like my stomach is growling, but
Come on.
don't celebrate too early. You're not finished.
Everybody else has been celebrating forever.
Oh my gosh! When you texted me, I'm headed to the finish line, and I still had 40 miles left. I was like, yeah,
There was nowhere
finish
else.
line energy.
But yeah, there was no.
I'm like,
That was the next stop.
and then when I got to mile 23 left, I was like,
How bad are these?
I don't know. I've never taken them off in like 3 days. You're about to find
Really?
out.
You were
You like picked up pace this evening like crazy.
I did caffeine.
I
discovered caffeine.
I discovered that.
I think it works very well.
I sent
I was
you-
like, is this cheating? I felt like it's cheating. Am I doping?
No, caffeine's legal.
Yeah, but it feels really not. Whoa. It kind of hurts to not have my shoe on.
You told me to make sure we get them off.
Okay, then I was right. It's just like tingly.
Yeah, it's because you had no feeling. These things are so tight.
I know it had to be.
I sent your sister a screenshot of your
Can
your
we
message about.
call her? I dreamt about her and Louisa when I was sleeping in
Can I-
bed.
Okay, here we are with Jackie Howard, aka Sprout, 1.5 days after she set the FKT and became the first woman ever to complete Double SCAR Unsupported. So let's talk a little bit about how you're doing. First, let's talk about what were the impacts on your body and how do you feel right now post FKT?
Right now, I feel still very brain foggy. The sleep deprivation was probably the biggest piece of this. So overcoming the confusion, the brain fog, memory stuff feels it's shocking how foggy I still feel. Physically, my feet are actually doing pretty well. I'm shocked. I've had a lot of feet issues in the past, and I only have like one toe that's like hurting. Muscles are okay. I'm moving fine. My mouth is probably the other biggest physical ailment. I had a bunch of sores break out in the last day, in the last like the morning of day 3. And I did a telemedicine appointment with a doctor in Fontana Dam, and I from all of the I was having some lung issues second night, so I took extra of my steroid inhalers. So I was like inhaling a lot, not able to like brush my teeth really well, and so the stress of my body from 48 hours at that point of exertion, plus a bunch of steroid inhalants, plus like sucking on a lot of electrolytes, changed the chemical balance of my mouth. So like the ecosystem was like thrown off in my mouth, and caused all these like inflammation responses in the form of very painful sores, which made like ingesting sugary things on the last day very difficult. And it's just in general been like very painful to have all these sores like in my cheeks and on my tongue. And so I'm still kind of dealing with that, and the tiredness, I would say, is the biggest. The sleep deprivation, I feel still very foggy and confused.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm in slow motion, and that I'm like
So let's talk about
forgetting stuff.
Let's talk about like mentally, emotionally, like how are you feeling other than like tired and confused a little bit? Have you been able to process what you've done yet? Or can you put into words how it feels to be the first woman to ever do this?
I'm still processing. I think I'm still in the immediate needs phase of like sleep, shower, bathroom, like food, like trying to just like recalibrate and get my feet on land. Like my balance has been off. Like I think I'm just still in a very much like immediate needs phase, and I have not been able to process really what happened out there yet.
Yeah. So moving on then, let's just talk about the actual time on trail. What was the single hardest thing you dealt with, and like how did that manifest on trail in any certain event or anything that happened that may have impacted your effort the most?
I think the single biggest challenge for me was sleep deprivation. It definitely made the entire thing just very difficult. I discovered caffeine and how to kind of really use it on the last bit, but I wish I had known how to manage sleep deprivation earlier. It was really a really big challenge, and it particularly showed up in like my lack of reasoning and problem solving skills. On the first night at like 4:30 in the morning, when I got trapped in a bunch of like blow down avalanche debris, that made me very scared, and I wasn't able to reason or figure out what to do. I just kind of lost my logical reasoning skills with the sleep deprivation. I don't know. It was the sleep deprivation was a new level. Like I'm familiar with the pain cave, but not familiar with that level of sleep deprivation. So.
Okay, so they've seen the videos up to this point, but can you kind of relive a little bit and just talk about the feelings that you experienced and what your mind was doing maybe during that period of time you were lost?
Yeah, I was just really scared. It was like the moment where I feel like I just broke and like lost focus and felt trapped. This like just intense trapped feeling that I didn't know how to get out of. Having it just be dark with the headlamp and not knowing my direction and just not seeing, like, it's just anywhere I looked, I was just trapped in trees, and I couldn't, I was like a shade away from just SOS. Like, I didn't know how to get out. I really,
Well, how did you get out? How did you work through it and successfully move forward through such a difficult time during especially that early on? That was less than halfway through.
and I think that really messed with my mind too, knowing like I'm not even halfway done and I want to give up. And I called Chap, and I was like, help. And I think just having him on speakerphone while I was crawling through, he was able to ask questions like, look at the Far Out app, look at the measurement, sizing,
The scale.
to see how far away I was from the trail. Just asking some questions that I hadn't, thought through was very helpful. And just knowing like, okay, there's a person here with me, kind of. I'm not alone in this. And he couldn't like get me out of it, but him being there and telling me, okay, you're on a ridge, and so the trail is up, right? The AT is always up. And so helping me know, okay, go up was helpful. He also said like, things happen in the daylight, like good things happen in daylight. And so maybe just waiting until daylight, which I wasn't trying to wait until daylight, but I ended up not getting out until daylight. And it's true, in the daylight, you can just have a sense of your bearings and surroundings better. The disorientation was just intense. I don't really know how I got out. I just kept looking up, and I kept trying to go south, because I knew that's where I came from. So I was trying to like hit the trail south and using Far Out, but Far Out was kind of tricky because it wasn't always able to get my bearings well. But having Chap on the phone with me helped significantly.
And you're right, the AT normally does go up, but in that situation, the trail was the spine of the ridge.
Yeah.
So no matter which side you were down, we knew that up was the trail. The other thing is, as we were talking through it all, and I don't know that you even remember this or were aware, it allowed more time to pass, and your GPS pinged again. So I could see your a more real-time ping, which was very helpful. But like we talked about, you got through it, and you
were
finished
able to
this
say,
thing.
like, you're not very far from trail. You're only like 100 yards away from it now. And so I was able to kind of feel like, okay, I'm not so far off the trail. But yeah, and then it just like was devastating to know that I had spent nearly 2 hours tangled in a mess. The recovery from that caused me to walk for a lot of time, trying to just down some bars and get some hydration in to be like, okay, I'm still doing this, even though I just flirted with quitting so much.
So talk about that for a second, just like in a quick summary. How often did you think about quitting? How serious were you about quitting? And compare that to past efforts with your thoughts about quitting.
I think this is the time that I've thought about quitting the most, with no real safety or medical backup. Like, I was really trying to recruit reasons to quit. I think the sleep deprivation just like really clouded my ability to like be strong or feel like myself. I just kept feeling like I wasn't myself. And I thought about it definitely before like every bailout point. But even like at the end, like 20 miles from the end or 3 miles from the end, I was like, this is where it ends. Like, I cannot take one more step. And somehow I was like, we'll just take one more step. And I just replayed voices in my head. And I honestly, like, even if Chap had said, okay, I'll bail you out, I don't know that I could have really quit. Like, I don't know that I was really all the way there, because I couldn't, a couple of reasons, I couldn't justify why I was quitting. I could come up with a lot of reasons, like, oh, I can't breathe, and I'm nauseous, and I'm, tired. But like, those weren't reasons to pull the plug. And I knew that if I quit, I would have to like come back out and do it again. And I was like, no, I don't want to do this again. So this is my one shot, and I'm functioning. Like, my body is functioning. I can take steps. And the little dirt naps helped some, and caffeine helped a lot at the end. But yeah, I knew I was going a lot slower than I had anticipated. Or that I think I could do. You know, I'm like, I think if I come back on a different day, I could do better, but I'm not redoing it anytime soon.
So now that we're a day and a half post success, what are you doing next?
I don't have a next exactly. I think there are ways that I will push myself in the future. I'm not the type of person to just reach a plateau and coast for a long time, but it's nice to take a little break right now.
Okay, in closing, do you have any final words or anything you want to say to anybody that may be thinking about attempting something like this, or attempting this, or you have anything at all you want to say? And you don't have to have anything. I know it's still very fresh. You're still processing. I just want to give you one more opportunity to say anything in closing.
In closing, I would say that it's important to set out and do things that you're not sure you can do. I think you learn different parts about yourself that you wouldn't otherwise get to know. Yeah, I hope that some people feel like they inspired to do something that is hard for them because of what I did. But I honestly haven't processed much. Sleep. Lesson learned is get enough sleep every night. Especially you teenagers.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching and following along, and thank you for celebrating Sprout's big victory here.